Hello everyone and welcome to a very special video where we talk about Pizza Tower merchandise concepts. Now, I've done stuff like this in the past, but this time it's really crazy because well, I guess it is pretty much the same as last time, but I've improved my art, so it's better for that reason. But before you continue, keep in mind that there will be spoilers to the ending and the true ending, so if you don't want to see that, then don't watch. I mean, it's a bit until the secret ending stuff, but yeah, just be careful. So let's get right into it. First, we have the action figures, and here we have is Pepino. Now, I really like my design concepts for these. So we got Pepino here, and he's got his like typical like expression, and I drew the joints, so it's like oh, that's where it is. Not that it needed to be there, but you know, they're action figure concepts. I wanted to actually make it look like action figures. So for accessories, I thought he could get a shotgun, and I also thought it'd be fun, what if every character got one of the top-ins? Now, that's probably the most unnecessary thing. Actually, a lot of stuff is, like, kinda unnecessary, but this is kind of like, I'm not saying all of this has to happen, but I think it's just kind of like, here are all my ideas. So yeah, I like this design, and I think it's great. Okay, moving on. The noise. Alright, so for this one, we have his skateboard. I originally wanted to give him the jetpack, but not only is that less iconic, it's also a lot more hard to draw, so it would probably be harder to manufacture. So I just gave him the skateboard. I made his mustache a bit more full so that it would actually be able to be sculpted and not like break off in a second. But yeah, he's got his cape, got his feet that you can actually see the lines because it's not just black. And so, as you can probably pick up on, got the pizza head arms. Ooh, because I don't care if no company has done a Build-A-Figure in like 4 years. Pizza Tower's gonna bring it back. I mean, I'm just saying that I'm just saying McPig or whoever works on the Pizza Tower games, hit me up and we can make some awesome figures. I don't know what's happening now. I just really like making ideas, and I would buy all of this. All right, so that's the noise, pretty good. The Vigilante. Now this one was fun to make, because as you can see, I gave him the hands and the boots, and I wanted that because it's an action figure, you know, it should have like the most like posable things. It shouldn't just be like him and his one hand. But so I didn't include this in the drawing, but I also think it would be kind of cool if maybe you can take out the arms and then put in like maybe just a little like yellow like thing to close it off, and then so if you just want one arm or no legs but both arms or just the legs, then you can swap it out, so it's like you can like just take out the limbs you don't want or whatever, and that works. And obviously we have the main part of Pizza Head. Now I thought Vigilante is probably the least popular character, so that's why I gave it to him. And I guess I haven't been... Okay, so Vigilante obviously has his gun, obviously, and he has the tomato toppin', and I really like the idea that they all come with toppins, but again, it's not necessary. But I just think it's cool. I really like this concept. This was like the first time I also ever really drew the Vigilante, so I'm also proud of that drawing. Alright, next up we got the Pepperman. Now, I really like the idea of this one. So his arms and legs are still tiny, but they have a bit of girth to them, so they're not like super flimsy. I gave him that expression, which I feel like is pretty accurate to him. He comes with a paintbrush. Maybe you would have actual paint on it. I didn't think about it. He also could probably come with a canvas, but that might be too much. But yeah, his Pizza Head's leg, and he's got the little sausage guy. Also, one thing I noticed while making this is that all the, like, most of the toppings have like different legs. Like this guy has legs like these, the cheese just has no legs, and the mushroom has like little line legs. So yeah, but I really like it. I like Pepperman's face. I just want Pepperman merch because he's so weird and absurd. I just think it's funny. I'm honestly kind of tempted to get the bootleg plush, but I won't. But yeah, this. I could make a whole separate video of plushes I wish they'd make, but I don't really know how to draw that, so I'm not. And then next we have the fake Pepino. I really like this one as well. I gave him the pineapple guy, obviously, because it's the last topping. And yeah, the thing about fake Pepino, though, is he doesn't really have any items. He never really uses any. So I thought, how about we give him the head that he throws at you during the fight. Now, not the most logical thing, and it also doesn't really make sense if he already has his head on, but I don't know, maybe you could remove the head. I don't think the brain bits will be underneath. But yeah, and this should kind of go with saying these are like kind of based off like Funko action figures, or at least what they used to be. So that's why I'm like, this is kind of the level of effort I expect. Like, of course, if it was made by like Good Smile or whatever, and it's like, oh, you can have all the different faces and poses and accessories. But nah, it's just kind of like, it's action figures you could buy in a store. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah, and then of course, when you get them all, you get Pizza Head. I think Pizza Head would be great because he's canonically, like, giant compared to the others, so it'd be really cool if he was, like, actually bigger than the rest of the characters. And so, yeah, I just think it's a great, like, oh yeah, collect them all to get him type figure, so I hope you guys agree with that. It is technically a spoiler, but these probably would come out at a time. I mean, most people already know everything at this point. I knew who Pizza Head was before I even knew who, like, Pepperman was, just because people were talking about it. So, yeah, I think this would be really a great, like, lineup. Just, like, it's all the main bosses, and, of course, Pepino himself. And I just think, I mean, even if it's not action figures, I just really hope they make Pizza Tower figures of some kind, because the characters are just so fun, and I think this would be really awesome if something like this came out. But we're not quite done yet, because, you know, I had to include the Target exclusive Noisette. I always want to do, like, some sort of exclusive when I make these, so I figured Noisette is perfect because it's similar to the Noise, and also it's just a good, like, that would be, like, the next character, I think. I mean, of course, there's, like, Gustavo and whatever, but I think Noisette would work as, like, an exclusive. She has the tip jar, the pipe. Oh, right, I gave her the pipe because that would be, like, Pizza Head's accessory if he had one. So it's kind of just like, oh, she just comes with that because she's not going to come with, like, a main part of Pizza Head because that's already in the base set. But then this way, it's like, oh, you just get, like, a neat little bonus for Pizza Head by getting the bonus Noisette figure. And speaking of bonuses, that's why instead of one of the regular toppings, she comes with when they're in the boxes, because I feel like the whole Noisette thing is like, you don't need this to complete the collection, but if you did, it like adds on to everything. So I really like that idea. But of course, I wouldn't just leave it at action figures. We have to do the absolute, that's right, baby, Pizza Tower Mystery Minis! This was the one. Now, I really hope they make Pizza Tower Mystery Minis. I don't care what company, I don't care how limited it is, I just want them to do it. Now, their main merchandise company is Fangamer, which doesn't work with any of these concepts, but, you know, let me dream, okay? But yeah, I did everyone. So, well, not everyone, but okay. So as you can see, I added a bunch of rarities this time around because I went for the effort to make it is based off the original FNAF sister location set because I think they had the coolest rarities and the most fair, you don't get the same guy 80 times rarities. So I really like how all of this looks, so let's just go through it. Alright, so 1 in 6 is Jerome and Vigilante, because they're like kind of the small guys. They're not the most desired, but you know, they're like fun. So I think those worked really well. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, like Jerome is kind of cool. Like that's the time for all the other characters to get a chance that wouldn't get like action figures. So I think it's cool, and I put them in like these poses. Then of course we got the 1 in 12s. So we have Pepino, who's just doing his normal idol pose. I think that works very well. Then we have Pepperman, and I kind of made it like a mix of different poses. And because I kind of wanted to be like, hey, I got my art, but he's kind of in a more like, he's kind of has a normal face rather than his like bug-eyed expression. Just because I kind of wanted it to be like whatever, I wanted to fit the personality the most is what I wanted to do with these. All right, so, okay, so these aren't actually really in order because I just based it off of how they are in the sister location thing, but we have a 1 in 72 being Pizza Head. I think that's a cool, like, it's the final boss, so it's probably going to be like the final figure you find, and maybe he can also be like a bit bigger, so I think that's a really cool addition, and I think that's great. Then back to 1 in 12s, we got the Noise, like, all the like basic characters are like the 1 in 12s, like the ones anyone would get, and I had to put him in the one dancing pose because I really like that one. So yeah, there's that. Then we have Gustavo finally getting some representation, and of course the rat Brick. They're also both 1 in 12s. I wanted them to be in the pose where if you put them together, they're like besties. So, yeah, that's great. And then we got fake Pepino in his like stunned animation because I really liked it. He's a 1 in 24 because he's like, you know, it's not the most rarest, but it's like it's kind of getting up there. And the other 1 in 24 that he would like swap out with, like who would be the other 1 in 24 in like other cases, is Mr. Stick. Now, Mr. Stick's probably not everyone's favorite character, but like I think he deserves to be in something like this where it's like all the characters really. Okay, so yeah, and then we got the other 1 in 72 being P rank Pepino, and I thought that would be an awesome 1 in 72 because it's like you P rank the collection almost, and of course he's wearing his outfit from when you get all the P rank, so I thought that worked pretty well. And then, okay, so this is where it gets kinda maybe won't happen. For this one we have Snick, and now Snick's not even in the full game, but I don't know, I really want Snick merch. He looks so funny. I would love if they did a Snick plush. Now the whole thing is like, yeah, but legality. I mean, I don't know, people make stuff. The thing about Snick is that I don't think he's like, I don't think you could show this to Sega and then Sega's gonna be like, oh my gosh, they can't sell it. It's just like Sonic. Like, because I don't think Snick actually resembles Sonic at all. He just kind of like, of course, like his animations and the stuff he does is like Sonic very closely, of course. But I feel like just by himself, just existing, I don't think it's really Sonic-like. So I think they could still make merch of him. All right, so in 1 in 36 we have John Gutter. Not John Gutter. I think it's just John. I don't know. There's like 8 John names. But yeah, when you get the true ending, this is who shows up, and I thought he would be a fun 1 in 36. So yeah, I just thought that would be fun. And then the other one you could get with 1 in 36 is Pizza Face. Gotta actually have regular Pizza Face because he's iconic. I mean, he's a 1 in 36. I mean, he's gonna be like kind of flat, so maybe that wouldn't be the best, but I don't know. I feel like Pizza Face deserves like some grace, kinda. And then 1 in 24, we got the evil Snick. So obviously the 1 in 24 means you could either get Snick or the evil Snick, and I thought that was funny because it's kind of like the game where they interchange with each other. So yeah, so that's the base set. And I think that's really cool, but we're not done yet. We have the exclusives, baby. Again, I don't care. I don't care if this is not how Funko makes stuff. This is how I want them to make stuff, and that's what the concept is. If this is like the perfect Pizza Tower merch setup. Alright, so let's start. So first we got Hot Topic. Now, the characters these would replace in the base set, Pepino would replace normal Pepino. Well, in this case, the cheese ball guy would replace, let's just say I think Mr. Stick was my original idea. And then Pillar John would replace the, just the other John. It's so confusing. But yeah, okay, so we got Pepino in one of his taunts, and I gave him like the black suit that you get after beating all the bosses no hit, because I think that's another cool, iconic like outfit in a sense. It would look great with the P rank one. Then we have the grease ball guy. I don't know. This was one of the kind of filler ideas. There's some other characters that could totally work, but some of those I thought might be fun for like a series 2 maybe, but that's a ways away. But yeah, I thought the grease ball could be fun, and then you could like actually like roll him around a bit. And then of course we have Pillar John, because you know that's who you actually see at the end of every round. So I think him being a substitute for the regular John would work pretty well. All right, then we have GameStop. And I gave him the sage blue clothes while doing the dash pose, because I think that's also an iconic pose, and I think it'd be really fun to do. And yeah, I gave him the blue because he's running fast. Haha. Okay, back to legal grayness. We have Mort the Chicken as the next one in 24. Now, yes, Mort came from a different game altogether, but the creator had permission to put him in the game in the first place. And honestly, I don't know if you made a PS2 game called Mort the Chicken and you're fine giving the rights to the game, I feel like you'd also be fine giving the rights for like a merch line. But I don't know, maybe not. But you know, then okay, this can be whoever else. And then we have Snotty. I wanted to include Snotty just because I thought, yeah, it's nice. I remember when I was making these ideas, my friend Ghost Cat PNG, he offered the idea that there should just be a figure that's just his tombstone, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But yeah, for now in this set, we just got regular Happy Snotty based off of his Snotty approved thing. Because it's like, I originally was going to do like the scared face, but I didn't really want the figure to be like, oh, here's his figure right before he dies. So yeah, it's just him being happy, so I thought that was nice. Alright, and then we have the Target exclusives. Then we have Pete, this happy victory kind of taunt in the pizza clothes, because again, iconic wear. And then we have the Pizza Granny, which I didn't even know that was the name of this for a while, with like 18 shaders, because I was trying to make all the shading accurate. Now that I look at this, I think I wanted Pizza Granny to swap with Pizza Face, but I think I changed my mind with that along the way. But I don't know, Pizza Granny's here, I guess. It's kind of funny. I was kind of running low on ideas at this point. And then for 1 in 36, we have Noisette, and she has the tip jar just because I think when she has this face, it's just really funny to me. Maybe in a series 2 there would be like regular Noisette, just like doing a normal face, but yeah. And so that's all of them. I really like these concepts, and I really hope we get some like mystery figures. It doesn't have to be like by Funko, but like even if it's just like, I don't know, Kid Robot. I mean, that would be cool, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you actually get deals with merchandise companies. I think something as popular as Pizza Tower probably wouldn't have a problem getting a hold of something like Funko, I'd bet. But, I don't know. I just hope that stuff like this happens, and even if it doesn't, that, I don't know, we can believe. I don't know, 3D print a whole bunch of these and just be like, oh my gosh, I got it. But yeah, I just really like these. I think it would be really cool if they really happen. So I just wanted to share my thoughts, and I hope you guys like the ideas too. So, bye-bye!